Books by Eleanor Farjeon. And this poem, please open the book. The poem celebrates the magical power of books. Okay? What does it celebrate? The magical power of books. So it explains how, although we may be physically sitting in a chair, আমরা হয়তো এটা একটা বইয়ের যে ম্যাজিক্যাল পাওয়ার সেটাই বলেছে। আর আমরা যেরকম আমরা বসে আছি হয়তো এখানে ফিজিক্যালি, কিন্তু আমরা অন্য জায়গায় চলে গেছি, এরকমই বোঝায়। সো ইট এক্সপ্লেইনস হাউ অলদো উই মে বি ফিজিক্যালি সিটিং ইন আ চেয়ার, হয়তো একটা চেয়ারে বসে আছি, আওয়ার মাইন্ডস ক্যান ট্রাভেল টু ডিস্ট্যান্ট ল্যান্ডস, আমাদের মাইন্ড অনেক দূরে দূরে ঘুরতে চলে যেতে পারে, অ্যান্ড ডিফারেন্ট টাইমস, অন্য টাইমে চলে যেতে পারে যদি আমরা বই পড়ি, তাই না? থ্রু রিডিং বুকস ব্রিং নিউ আইডিয়াস। হোয়াট ডু বুকস do to us? What do books bring? Books bring new ideas, people, and adventures of life. Where? Originally or in our imagination? In our imagination. The room around us seems to disappear when we start reading a book. The room around us seems to disappear, and we get lost in the story, and often forming a deep connection with the character, because we start thinking that I am Rapunzel, I am the Cinderella, we start thinking I am the beauty of in the beast, Ami beauty. So the poet describes, and also Harry Potter, right? The poet describes books as magic boxes. Books are magic boxes, last line that open up with a simple touch and offer endless wonders to those who love reading. Who love reading, তাদের কি হয়, simple touch এ endless wonder চলে আসে। So first line কি আছে? Books, লাইনটা কি আছে দেখো, 2 মিনিট। This poem celebrates the magical power of books, and it tells us how books open up amazing world. What does the book tell us? The book tells us how books open up the amazing worlds filled with new ideas and people. As we read, we become so absorbed. আমরা যখন পড়ছি বাড়িতে, so open up amazing worlds filled with new ideas and people, তাই না? As we read, we become so absorbed, আমরা যেই পড়ি বইয়ের মধ্যে এতটাই absorbed হই that we forget where we are, and we feel as if we are part of the story. And sometimes we grow so fond of the character that they feel like a real friend by the time we finish the book. আমরা বই শেষ করার আগে মনে হয় ও আমাদের বন্ধু, এই পুরোটাই মাথায় রাখতে হবে। আমরা যে বইটা পড়ি, যে যে ক্যারেক্টার মনে হয় আমাদেরই বন্ধু, তাই মনে হয় না? What worlds of wonder are our books. So the poet writes that books are full of magical and amazing things that surprise us and that delight us. As one opens them and looks, when we open the book and start reading it, what happens? The books have become full of magical and amazing things. And those amazing things surprise us and delight us. Next, thirdly, new ideas and people rise. So when we open a book and start reading, when we discover fresh thoughts and we meet interesting characters. Clear? In our fancies, our eyes. So these characters come to us originally No. These characters and ideas come alive in our imagination, and it seems that they are real to us. বই পড়লে মনে হয় সত্যি। The room we sit, it melts away. So we forget about our actual surroundings while we're reading the book, and our room seems to be melting away. মনে হয় যেন আমাদের পুরো রুমটা যেন গলে গেছে। And we find ourselves at play, and we imagine ourselves joining in the fun or action of the story. So we find ourselves at play. তার মানে আমরাও ওই অ্যাডভেঞ্চারে প্লে করছি with someone who before the end may become our chosen friend. So during the story, whatever we are going through, আমরা যেটা বইটা পড়ছি কি হয়, we may connect deeply with a character. ক্যারেক্টারের সঙ্গে আমরা deeply connect করতে পারি, and so much so that we can think that those characters are close friends of ours or a close friend of mine, তাই না? So or we sail along the page. So এটা হয়তো এটা মনে করে যে when we read a book, it is like sailing or moving smoothly through the pages. তো এই যে সেইলিং, আমরা কি বই দিয়ে সেল করতে পারি না নৌকা দিয়ে সেল করি? তাহলে why does the poet mention sail along the page? তার মানে just like we travel across the sea and we can explore new worlds, okay, so when we will turn over the pages, it will be just similar to sailing across the sea. Reading the book is equal to sailing across the sea. Why? Because when we sail across the sea, we explore new lands, নতুন জায়গা দেখতে পারি. So when we go through the pages, we read a story, a book, আমাদের নতুন আইডিয়াস পাই, তাই না? ওখানে এই সেল করলেও যেমন নতুন আইডিয়া পাওয়া যায়, এটার করলেও নতুন আইডিয়া পাওয়া যায়। So these two are similar. These two ideas are similar, and so they are compared. এখানে কিন্তু একটা comparison আছে, ঠিক আছে? To some other land or age. So the books can take us different countries, just like when we sail, we reach to different countries. Then here is our body in the chair, but our mind is over there. So while we read a story physically, we may be in the we may be still in our chair, but it may be we can feel that mentally we are far away. We are lost in the world of the book. What worlds of wonder are our books? তখন বলছে আমাদের বইগুলো, books are full of magical and wonderful experience and ideas. বইগুলো আসলে কি? All the books are magical and wonderful experiences and ideas. বই, as one opens them and looks, when we open a book and when we start reading a book, new ideas and people rise in our fancies. Fancy মানে imagination. আমাদের ইমাজিনেশনে কে উঠে আসে? New ideas and new people. ভালো করে মনে রাখবো, ideas and people. These ideas and people come alive in our imagination and our mind's eye. Mind's eye means imagination. The room we sit in melts away, and we ourselves find at play with someone who before the end may become our chosen friend. So each book is a magic box. Clear? Books are compared to a magic box. Why? Because magic box always contain treasure boxes. সেখানে বিভিন্ন রকম ট্রেজার পাবে, which with a touch a child unlocks. When a child touches a book, it unlocks that magic. যখন তুমি একটা বই টাচ করবে, ওই ম্যাজিক ওপেন হবে। In between there are outside covers. Outside বইয়ের মধ্যে দুটো কভার থাকে না, দুদিকে? Between the front and back covers of a book, new ideas are there. Books hold all things for their lovers. So between the front cover and the back cover, book always কি করে? Books hold endless stories, dreams, ideas and emotions for those who love to read. Clear? So this is the whole story. ভালো করে বুঝছো? ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজটা মুখস্থ করে নিতে হবে। আমি তোমাদের যেটা দিয়েছি সেটা ঝরঝরা করেছো তো? ভালো ওয়ার্ডগুলো ইমিটেট করতে হবে। ক্লিয়ার? এবার বলো, তুমি বলো বই পড়তে ভালোবাসি কিনা। শোনো,
Here's the summary and line-by-line explanation of the given stanza from the poem Books by Eleanor Farjeon. Summary. This stanza celebrates the magical power of books. It tells us how books open up amazing worlds filled with new ideas and people. As we read, become so absorbed that we forget where we are, and we feel as if we are part of the story. Sometimes we grow so fond of a character that they feel like a real friend by the time we finish the book. Line-by-line explanation. What worlds of wonder are our books? Books are full of magical and amazing things that surprise and delight us. 2. As one opens them and looks. Moment we open a book and start reading it. 3. New ideas and people rise. We discover fresh thoughts and meet interesting characters. 4. In our fancies and our eyes. These characters and ideas come alive in our imagination and seem real to us. 5. The room we sit in melts away. We forget about our actual surroundings while reading. 6. And we find ourselves at play. We imagine ourselves joining in the fun or action of the story. 7. With someone who, before the end. During the story, we may connect deeply with a character. 8. May become our chosen friend. So much so that we think of them as a close or favorite friend. The poem celebrates the magical power of books. It explains how, although we may be physically sitting in a chair, our minds can travel to distant lands and different times through reading. Books bring new ideas, people, and adventures to life in our imagination. The room around us seems to disappear as we get lost in the story, often forming a deep connection with the characters. The poet describes books as magic boxes that open up with a simple touch and offer endless wonders to those who love reading.